Hello, my name is Andrew Voigt, and welcome to Games to the Table. Today I'm going to teach you how to play Perspective, a 2 to 4 player 10-minute game of hand management, memory, and teamwork. Designed by myself, Andrew Voigt, and it is being published by Minion Games. The cards shown are in a prototype state, so the final versions will look different. The cards in Perspective are double-sided with 4 different colors, with any combination of the colors possible. The colors of the cards in your hand facing you tell what action those cards will do when you play them. The back side will be used to accomplish the objective. Each game mode, the objective is to match the back of your hand with your current goal. I will start by explaining a 4-player game, and then I will move on and explain how to play a 2-player game, a 3-player game, and then finally an advanced version of the 2-player game. The 2 most important rules to remember are that you can never look at the back of your own hand, and table talk is not allowed. Deal 3 cards to each player onto the table. Once all players have 3 cards, everyone will pick up their cards without looking at the back side. Then start the used pile by taking the top card of the draw deck and flipping it over to create the used pile. Then distribute 1 gold card in front of each player. Each player's turn will consist of drawing 1 card, being careful never to see the back side of it, placing it anywhere they want in their hand. Then they will play 1 card and use the action corresponding to the color they played. Let's look real quick at how to claim a goal and how to win the game. A player may try to claim their goal either at the start of their turn or at the end of their turn. To claim a goal, players lay their hand on the table so that the backside faces up. If they were right and their cards matched their goal, they score their goal card. If they were wrong and did not match their goal, they discard their entire hand and draw 3 new cards to replace it, being careful never to look at the backs. Taking a turn. Draw the top card of the draw deck, being careful to keep the top side facing you so that you never see the back of the card. Place the card anywhere you want in your hand. Now choose a card from your hand and place it in the used pile. Then do the action corresponding to the color of the card you placed. You must always perform an action of the color that you placed in the used pile, with the one exception being if you are going to claim your goal hand this turn, you may choose not to do the action of the card you placed, and instead perform no action this turn, but you will reveal your hand to see if you have accomplished your goal. After you have performed your action on your turn ends and it moves to the next player's turn. We will now go through the different colors and the actions that are associated with them. You can use any card action on either your own hand or on your partner's hand. You can never use actions on the hands of your opponents. When you play a yellow card, you use the flip action and rotate a card. That card can be in your hand or your partner's hand. First is an example of David flipping a card in his own hand. Second is an example of him flipping a card in mine. Now let's look at the green card. If you're playing with a partner, green lets you take any card from your partner's hand and put it into your hand without changing the facing. Then take any card from your hand and place it in your partner's hand without changing the facing. Now we'll look at the red card, which is Reclaim. It is similar to the green card, except it will be used with the used pile. After playing the red card, discard an additional card from your hand. Now, you may take any card from the used pile, placing it in your hand so that you never see the bottom side. If you use this ability on your partner's hand, you will discard a card from your partner's hand and replace it with a card from the used pile, placing it so that they never see the bottom side of the card. Next is blue. With blue, you can choose to either do the inform action or the swap action. If you choose to do the swap action, you can rearrange either hand however you'd like. If you choose to do the inform action, then you may either pick a card in your hand and have your partner tell you what the public side is, or you can pick a card in his hand and tell him what the public side is. This concludes the actions for a 4-player game. I will now go ahead and describe how to set up a 2- and 3-player game, and then I'll describe how the actions interact with the shared hand. To set up a 2- or 3-player game, deal 3 cards to each player. Then, place the draw pile on the table and create the shared hand by flipping over the top 3 cards of the deck. Then you're going to begin the used pile by taking the top card and flipping it over. At this point, pick up both of your hands, being careful not to look at the back or the public side, and then you're going to give each player a goal card. If you're playing a 2-player game, remember you need to remove one of each of the cards that has the same color on both sides. A yellow, a green, a red, and a blue. So there will only be one of each remaining in the deck. When playing a game with the shared hand, your actions can interact with it, but they do so in a little bit different way. Here's an example of each action interacting with the shared hand. Yellow flips like normal. Blue, if you use the inform part of it, you're going to look at the bottom of the card. When you use red, be sure to flip the cards over when moving them in between the shared hand and the used pile. Here, a blue is being used to rearrange the center hand. And the green trade card can be used to trade cards with the shared hand. Note that other than green, you're probably only going to use actions on the shared hands if you're playing the advanced 2-player game. Rules for the advanced 2-player game. Setup for the advanced 2-player game is going to be the same as the normal 2-player game, except that neither player will receive a goal card. Instead of the goal card, the shared hand in the center of the table will be treated as each player's goal, meaning that as that hand changes, so does their goal. Note that to complete the goal, players may use the tops of the shared hand or the bottoms, flipping the shared hand over after presenting their own hand. This means that if players can remember the bottoms of the shared hands, they always have 2 goals that they can use to win. Thank you for learning how to play Perspective. It will be coming out on Kickstarter shortly after this video was released. It was designed by myself, Andrew Voigt, and is being published by Minion Games. If you'd like to see some of my other work, please check the description for my blog, my Facebook, and my Twitter. Feel free to leave comments with any questions that I left you with, and let me know how I might improve these videos. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.